it's my job here to offer a practical example about the participatory heritage. And it's about night of museum. Everybody knows about night of museums. If I'm thinking better, everything started from here, from France, 14 years ago. So please take my presentation. I invited you to see my presentation as a tribute for France and for a guy of that team who invented this wonderful concept, because it works. And I will try to demonstrate you that in Romania, Night of Museums, it's practically a social phenomenon. So, let's proceed. Okay, great. So, it's better. Okay, it's better because I like to move on the floor. So. Okay. So, we are a national network of Romanian museums who organize under this umbrella and connect all the museums in the country, not only in Bucharest. And we like to have for every edition a specific visual identity. But this visual identity has been created by very young and interesting artists, because we like to act as a platform for launching and for discovering talents who, on this occasion, become a well-known artist. So this is the first dimension, first social dimension in our country. We launch artists, we promote artists to deliver this kind of wonderful pictures. And of course, it's full of animals who play and who wants to be part of Night of Museum. So first of all, we coordinate the promo campaign and facilitate the content and the information to be delivered to everybody. So we are everywhere on the blocks with a huge promotional advertising campaigns. We promote an envelope, and our message is, let's take a round. I mean, museums and other cultural institutions to be connecting locally. In each important city in Romania, we act as a main actors who connect people, and not only museum, but friends of museums, which means any kind of cultural entities, from creative studios, to cultural and international cultural institutions, from universities to school, from opera to theaters, and so on. So we have a strategic ecosystem of partners in every city. Practically, we are represented by a specific company or specific association who works for us in connecting all the local actors. We have an important critical mass of volunteers, hundreds, and we take a map. I mean, I have this map, this kind of map. This is for Bucharest, where you have all the offer here by the museums and friends of museums, a map how to identify the locations and how much it takes with the car starting from the peripheries. And because it's a social phenomenon, we develop a culture of protesting, using this specific moment when everyone and entire society have eyes on us. Imagine that last year we had 2,382 media records about Night of Museum in Romania. So imagine the potential of sharing and transmitting our message, including the protesting, because we have problems as everywhere related to investment in museum, low salary, and lack investment. And because the world is so small, we have here a friend who is actually in this picture. And when I sketch this presentation, I didn't know he will be here. So please. Ovidiu is here, and it's this guy. So very nice. Believe me, I didn't know that Ovidiu will be there. Okay, so the Night of Museum is that moment when the creative and offer their curatorial replicas. I mean, they are part of Night Museum. Of course, Night Museums are the queens, but we have this entire community of creatives who offers their idea about how to curate an exhibition, how to create an event, how to offer experiments, how to innovate in such a way to expose themselves as a smart resources for museum to be seen. And in that specific moment, museums are more willing than in every other times to cooperate with the creatives. Because it's my obsession to connect these two words together. Not mentioning that we discuss about Nemo and the creative community spaces for incubating the creativity and so on. So in this moment, the creatives are part of the Night of Museum, and they offer different kind of inspirational models for museums. Practically, Night of the Museums is everywhere, including in the cemeteries. We have a big cemeteries, as in France, where an entire history of art could be seen in the front of your eyes. And usually here we have opera, dramas, big events, concerts and so on. And imagine we have thousands and thousands of persons who occupy this cemetery in Bucharest. Night of Museum Romania means to work with the local creative and to transform, and this is my preferred ideas and expression. Imagine that the entire city looks like huge, open, urban rooms where something happens. All over the city, not only in Bucharest, it happens something. I mean, people starting to dance, to perform, to invent, to reenact different levels of history. And not only the professional, but also the ordinary people. They are dressing like this, and in the Night Museum, it's nothing strange. I mean, it means absolutely normal to be dressed like this. And the Night of Museum was declared a good practice example in Europe in 2009. And why? Because we connect museum with other cultural entities and spaces, because we engage the people and the creative to experiment, and because we generate interesting alchemies in testing new products, especially for the events. We have special coffee, special tea, special food with different ingredients for unforgettable experience, and to keep you alive till the very late in the evening. I mean, imagine interesting guys who try to offer special ingredients, special coffee named Night Museum coffee or Nitro Night coffee and so on. So we change the city dynamics and schedule, including the restaurants change their schedule in the Night Museum, especially that restaurant who are very close to the hotspots and the event in the city. We also have a special bus and bicycles lines for the Night Museum because we try to act as a green organization who recommend to take a bicycle for visiting museums. Next year it will be as you wish, because we interact with many persons, we interrogate them, we ask for their feedback. And we discovered that the main meaning that they visited and they are a big fan of Night Museum is not because it's free entry, but because they are in that incredible moment when they can socialize. So this is a social phenomenon. They go out with the friends, with the family, and it's for the first time in Romania when they discuss about culture. This is a new brand invented with this occasion. So this is an iced coffee which keep you alive on the Night of Museum, or this kind of product, Nitro coffee. This is very strong. Bucharest, and not only, it looks like this. I mean, time to time they close some specific street because it's a full, massive, and crowded. Here it's in Sibiu. I mean, it's something very common in the Night of Museum to have these lines, huge lines of persons. It's an open-air museum. People interact. What is very interesting, in the Night of Museum, people create content. I mean, more than 60% of the offers and the action proposed by the museums, and not only, is for the persons, for different persons, to create content. I mean, to work, to draw in the museum, to create and planning and conceptualize exhibitions and so on. People cooked together with VIPs and cultural allies involved in the event. People take taxi for free. This is a special bus, Night of Museums. We have also a new challenge. After this edition, many children started to believe that the statues are alive. So we try to do our best to explain that, of course, it's very symbolistic and these statues are alive, but if you want, in your imaginary mind, sometimes, time to time, we offer this kind of lounge moment in the front of museum. What do you think when you see these kind of persons? Could you imagine this kind of persons hearing in the Night of Museum more than 20 minutes, not even breathing, Carl Maria von Weber to the concert? I mean, I was so impressed to see this kind of person staying in the concert of Carl Maria von Weber, not even breathing. So practically the entire city fixed the hour according to this event. And what is interesting, you know, we are not a big fan of quantities. Imagine that at 7 o'clock in the morning, practically 3 hours after I finished Night at Museum, the mass media calling me on the phone, ask me how many persons was on the Night of Museums. It's a nightmare because imagine 3 hours after the event I burn out. But we are trying to identify that qualitative elements that pleased us. I mean, to see an old person who declare officially to the national television that is for first time in his entire life when he visited a museum. To see that kind of workers hearing Carl Maria von Weber to the concert. To see children who stay in the art museum drawing after alive models, or imagine that the statues are alive. To see how an entire professional museum community protesting for their rights. This is the spirit of Night of the Museum from Romania. Thank you.